And I said, look at me, I train all these disciples, I've got all these monks with me in the monastery. They said, and I tell her, I say, you are a Hinayana, you're selfish, Dr. Yifan. I'm the Mahayana Bodhisattva. And of course what we're doing is trading places, because according to the books, it is the Theravada is supposed to be selfish, and the Mahayana is supposed to be giving themselves, not thinking about themselves, to all sentient beings. I say this to show that the truth on the ground, the reality is, there is no difference between these traditions. Now you'll see sort of so-called Theravada monks like myself going around the world, busting your gut to sort of teach other people, working really hard, spreading the Dharma, helping out, looking after other people, serving and giving until it hurts. What is the difference? And actually, in reality, there is no difference. Because no matter what Buddhist tradition you follow, the general training, teachings, principles of Buddhism, like virtuous conduct, which is common sense. That's why it's common to all traditions.
Thank you.
Being kind to others, being kind to yourself. One of the reasons why Buddhism is strong in that virtue is because all these beliefs and these dogmas, they actually confuse your virtue. They stop common sense having any power. Because when you believe the books, when you believe in the God or the priest, sometimes it goes against common sense. It's so, okay, we better believe the book because God said that. Or we better believe the priest because they've got a direct line to Allah. Or you've got to believe, the great whatever it is because they're the head of the tradition. And sometimes it's those beliefs and dogmas actually stand in the way of obvious common sense. But Buddhism, we don't have those beliefs and dogmas, and so common sense has the freedom to express itself. So what you hear here is common sense, but the amazing thing here is there's nothing to stop that common sense. There's no dogmas or texts to say common sense is wrong, believe me instead. That's not there in Buddhism. So all the Buddhist traditions, because we are free of that dogma, we're free of the sort of the God principle or some ultimate being which is telling you what to do, it gives that common sense, the freedom to express itself. And when those of you will go and see His Holiness the Dalai Lama next week, you say, wow, this is down to earth, this makes sense. And just the same as you hear from the monks or the nuns here or from any other teachers of the Buddhist tradition, this makes sense. Why doesn't other people teach this? It's because Buddhism, all the Buddhist traditions, have this common characteristic of being free from those things which obstruct this obvious common sense. And that's true for all our Buddhist traditions. And so that way we have a virtue which actually does make sense, which people can relate to, which they know is true. A good example is Buddhism and sex, sex. With, say, homosexuality or contraception, and these are some things which people know in their heart, what's wrong with this? And in your heart, when you ask that question, there's nothing wrong with this at all. It's your feelings, your understanding of what virtue is, which is a natural ability of the human being to know what's good and know what's right. Buddhism frees that natural ability to express itself. So instead of believing, somebody else says this is wrong, but it feels right to me, but they said it's wrong, I better not do it. Instead of being confused
and controlled,
those obstacles are taken away, so that even the natural understanding of virtue is there for you.